in a coop.
Alright, screw it then.
I'll...
We wanted to do new game, didn't we? So that it's not spoilery. Better not overwrite my existing save file.
Yeah. We'll do new game, and yeah, no spoiler chat.
Username.
Shit.
We'll just a username can just be OCG, and that's it. I was gonna screw it. All right, difficulty. Very hard. No, let's not. You will die in one hit. Let's definitely not do that.
You guys are the difficulty whores. I don't want to have to sit here and watch someone try and get through.
Let's just put it on normal then. We'll just put it on normal.
It's not conducive to entertaining gamer, you know, sitting here watching him bash his head against a brick wall. Because that's what hard mode really amounts to.
Everything that
anytime you mention crashing on Uncharted, Regan, I get PTSD, flashbacks of me trying to do like one stage on, not even crushing. I tried to do it on the one before crushing, whatever that is, like hard or whatever. And I just wanted to kill myself. It was awful. It was awful.
It's you've just got to. I think it just really. You've just got to slow your pacing right down, especially in Uncharted. And you've just got to, you've got to go from being used to just smashing through it and being like near invincible to, just having to go really slow, really take your time. But you know,
it becomes more of a tactical shooter, when you're playing it on the hard.
Yeah, it feels more like espionage than just running about slaying fools.
Yeah, Mike, I don't remember that. Mike's saying he remembers me saying I was going for the Uncharted 4 Platinum. That doesn't sound like me, Mike. I don't ever remember saying anything about trophies. I don't give a shit about trophies. Maybe I did though. I don't know.
I should actually go back and try and platinum that game. I can't be that far off. I don't know. I'd need to check, but
I started going through after I finished my first playthrough of Uncharted 4 and going and getting the little trinkets and treasures and stuff like that. I must have got a few of them. But I eventually just got bored and stopped playing it.
Mike says you said you'd consider it.
Wow, that's possible. I've said a lot of things, Mike.
You probably did spend a few moments considering it.
Yeah.
What's going on here, Balthazar? What's this wee flying
There's some crazy, like, Gallagher Space Invaders stuff.
Yeah, there are sort of bullet hell R-Type Delta style fucking ship segments, which are break up the otherwise button bashy hack and slash gameplay quite nicely. They pop up, they don't pop up enough to become obnoxious, which is nice.
I'm loving that water texture, man. That water texture is so good, gorgeous. Cool. It's just a background, but man, getting me hot and heavy.
Settle down, Abe. Get some more pizza in you.
I'm eating my pizza. I'm muting my microphone every time I take a bite, so it doesn't.
Nice, good job. People who are watching will be pleased to know that Abe got a Grim, which was his recommendation from last week. When I spent a good probably, 20 minutes agonising over what kind of pizza I was going to get. So
yeah, I got the old Grim Fandango. I thought I'd give it a shot.
Nice, yeah.
Another shot, probably like the 200th shot at this point. Just making sure it's still good, guys. Just testing it.
Hey, Balthazar, given that you're up in Karori, have you tried Yummy Curry up there? The curry place?
Where is that?
It's down the other end towards Karori Park.
The only curry place I use is just the one like 2 minutes down the road from me.
Right. You're missing out. The Yummy Curry is the bomb diggity.
Is it yummy?
Yeah, it's pretty yummy. Yeah.
Let me just say this is a new record for devolving into food chat for us. I'm loving it. I'm like, I'm supposed to use that unironically. I wasn't meant to quote McDonald's just then. It's ingrained in.
McDonald's, yeah, one win for the McDonald's marketing teams there. Oh. This is really cool. I'm digging the different takes on this wee plane situation.
They're kind of getting all their viewpoints, trying to hand it all the different viewpoints.
It's very Star Wars.
I tell you what.
Yeah, I was going to say it's
for watching, like Mike, for example. Since I know that he notices shit anyway, I've just issued myself a challenge. Hit me up if I fail. I'm gonna not get hit at all this entire stream.
Or what? Wow. I think you're gonna say this entire section or something.
No,
not
the whole
hit
stream.
By an enemy.
Yep.
Bold.
Alright, well, if this is the same as the I'm not going to buy any games,
then I've already failed, yeah. I got hit, I failed. I flew into a bullet, so there you go, I should never...
Well,
there you go.
Yeah,
killing myself.
Yeah, there's another one.
There's wild claims.
Let's keep a tally
going.
going.
I can't do special attacks yet.
Yeah, this looks pretty frantic though.
How is this controlled, Balthazar? Is this twin stick shooter at the moment?
Yes. So it's
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, right thumbstick is aiming and aim direction and left is movement.
Man, now, that's pretty cool. That's like what's that PS4 game? The launch PS4 game?
Yes. The spiritual successor to Super Stardust.
Yeah.
PS4
Let me Google. Lots of particle effects. It should just be called Particle Effect the game because that's all.
It really should, yeah.
So, I don't know much about NieR. I would say I know nearly nothing about NieR.
Nearly nothing.
NieR, yeah. Give me a thing. Give me a synopsis. Tell me what's going on.
There's humanity is gone to the moon because Earth was invaded by aliens who sent robots.
Okay.
And so humanity sent androids to defeat the robots and make Earth habitable by them again. And so yeah, you're playing as an android as part of the Yorha
and
combat unit.
And basically, your job is to kill the robots. Kill robots. That's it. Nice.
Pretty much.
Sorry, I had a mouthful of pizza there. I wanted to ask a question. So are you playing on the moon at the moment?
No, this is Earth.
Is that our target?
Oh, okay.
Negative. This enemy is
that was all my question.
Proposal. Dispatch it as quickly as possible.
That's all I had.
You don't say.
Yeah. I played through this demo. Or I played through some of it at least.
So the humans are on the moon?
Yes.
Where are the humans?
They're on the moon.
Okay. solid world building there.
Yeah.
So what's the appeal of this game? Is it just the gameplay? The hack and slashy nature?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, it's just if you like platinum games, that's why you play it, kind of thing. It's the refined, perfected combat and stuff that they're known for.
Mike's asked a question. Balthazar, did you ever talk to Engels? E-N-G-E-L-S?
The name is familiar, so I'm going to say yes. Though I don't rightly recall who or what they were.
What it was, yeah. He had some interesting things to say, is all that Mike has said.
Better make sure
in
he's
response to
actually
that,
dead next
I don't know
time.
what that means.
Very
dangerous,
cryptic.
man.
Yeah. Very cryptic, Mike.
There's honestly
he's going...
almost nothing you can say about this game without dropping spoilers.
You're 2B, right? My name's 9S.
We'll try to avoid that as much as possible, but no guarantees, folks. We're not going to go out there to be like, oh, you can't guarantee that we won't. Well, Balthazar will say something.
I guess we have to find the target then, huh? I've got a flight so I'll take
hey, I've got some good news though. Some really important news from the chat. Shark Jumper is on the Lust Deluxe tonight because of all the fast food chat in last week's stream.
Nice.
Good job.
Jumper. Good stuff, man. Hope you're enjoying those big chunks of steak on there, beauty. That's a good pizza.
Yeah, I wish I kind of had one now so I could really get on board with it.
Oh man, come join the pizza party, man. It's bloody great.
Yeah. Yeah, if I hadn't already had curry, I'd be all about it.
Yeah. The old Hell's doing well for themselves. This is the first time I've bought a pizza from Hell in it must be about 3 years now, I'd say, because you got free pizza when we worked when I work with you guys, and I get free pizza at my other job. So I had no reason to. I'm ingrained to not buy pizzas or soft drinks anymore.
Nice.
That's probably a good thing, because you guys have soft drinks on tap where you're at, aren't you?
Yeah, not literally, but pretty much like just a small fridge full of everlasting soda for our American compadres. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. What up, Booyah? Booyah's saying hi. He's stopped by to chat.
I collected earlier.
Do it.
How are you, my friend? Good to
He's
have you here.
he's got that old 4K TV cranking, I would imagine by now.
Yeah, that half-price 4K TV, not half-price PS4 Pro.
No, not the thing that got me incredibly excited at like 10 AM in the morning and made me contemplate jumping on my bike to go to JB Hi-Fi at lunchtime.
That is a good question, Michael. How is the Pro? We'd love to hear. Downloading a bunch of stuff taking a while.
Yeah. You've got to get them downloads going, man. No, it wasn't your fault, but yeah, it was some misinformation carried through. Or just misconstrued information, not really misinformation, misconstrued information.
It was the fact that you were typing an answer to one of my questions after I'd already asked another question, so I interpreted that answer to be the answer to my new question, not the original question.
Yeah, solid communication skills.
I'll go into some detail in this for viewers because it's probably all sounding a bit weird. We had some chat going on, and someone mentioned in a Slack conversation that one of our friends had bought a half-price PS4 Pro from a New Zealand retailer, and I pretty much shat myself and tried to run out and buy one. Because I mean, like, what, 350 bucks probably, something like that. It would be if it was half price.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. So I might even buy two at that price. I mean,
then you might as well just buy one now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, fake news is right. Fake news, mate. Hashtag fake news.
Yeah, that was great.
You know, man,
I would have thought about it, to be honest. I would have
scanners like me
probably bought one and then maybe even just given away my PlayStation as like a prize or something. You know, run a competition for OCG and just give one away.
Sorry, man.
You would have given away your vanilla OG PS4.
Yeah, I reckon. Yep.
Yeah, nice. That's very kind of you.
Yeah. I mean, I would have required something pretty special from the viewers to qualify for the competition, but
yeah, their firstborn child.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. Firstborn child. My choice of games from their collection, something like that.
Yeah, or $450 made out to bring it home.
yeah.
Second-hand PS4.
This is really interesting in the way that it's kind of mixing like a 3D type situation and platforming kind of.
I didn't know at all that this game did this sort of thing.
Yeah, it kind of messes with the perspective constantly throughout the whole game, which is pretty cool.
I guess humans used to use it as a
weapons seems to work pretty well too. It's not like jarring
machines.
On the view and things. You think if the camera was swinging around all willy-nilly as it is, it would be hard to deal with. But it's good.
Why isn't Mike a mod? That is a good question, Booyah. The answer to that is I don't know how to make people mods.
Let's see if we can figure it out.
It must be in the settings here. No, they can't be too hard. Mod icons. Mod icons.
Here we go. I think I've done it. Yep, I've added him as a moderator of this room. Here we go. Yep, we've got it. I'm not sure what that allows him to do, but here we go.
Mike's going to take our business down.
Yeah. I'm not convinced that we really require moderators, but
it doesn't get out of hand too often.
Car is overwhelmed.
He's got a little sword icon now as well.
Yeah, nice.
Good shit. Well, Mike is the fourth honorary member of OCG, so it's only.
Looks like he's gone through and deleted all of the messages. Oh, whoops.
Oh no, here we go.
He's banned Booyah from the middle. Mike, alright.
Mike, you're abusing your power, mate. We're gonna take it away if you're not careful. We'll de-knight you.
I'm gonna need. I don't know how to unban Booyah. I think you. How do I undo this?
What have you done, Mike?
I'm not sure how to fix that. Here we go.
He's done it. He's done it. He's done it.
It must have to be. Sorry about that, Booyah. Mike, you're on your first strike.
If you've just tuned in, we've given someone moderating power only to have them ban someone else. That's now been undone, so you're all caught up pretty much, is what I'm trying to say.
Really, it's his own fault. If Ern was the one who said, "Why isn't Mike a moderator?" then he brought it upon himself.
That's alright. We don't know any of these people in the chat, by the way. None of them. They're all just tuning in, just well wishers. Associates.
Thanks for everyone for being here, by the way. We've got quite a few people tuned in at the moment.
It's because they want to see Android butts.
Yeah. Let us know what you had for tea, Evan. I'm always curious.
Yeah, I had curry. New favourite curry place in Wellington in New Zealand is Planet Spice in Newtown. Excellent curry.
Newtown, eh?
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
The town that is new.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
No, I shouldn't have. I regret it.
No, Newtown's alright. I have nothing to do, so it's a bit weird.
It is a little bit weird. Lots of bohemian people, which is fine.
Yeah. I remember my earliest memory of Newtown, I think I was probably about 11 or 12 or something, and I went down and stayed with a friend and his sister in Wellington, and she lived in Newtown, and we went out to get some takeaways or something quite late at night. I think it must have been 11 or maybe 12 a.m. or something. Went into the fish and chip shop, and there was a dude just like on the Street Fighter 2 machine just having a blast, like cackling away to himself. Yeah, man, he I don't know if he was on something or just having a great time, but he stayed there the entire time we were there, and he was still there when we left, so I don't know what was going on. When we walked back, there was a dude we walked past who had like a small pole in his hand, just sort of like swinging this pole around. It was just like, we should
menacingly.
Yeah, we should probably get home.
Should probably get off the streets. This is
It's sort of like early teens. Interesting first impression of Newtown, and I wouldn't say it's improved, but it hasn't gone down either. I mean,
no,
it's just kind of been the same.
Do you have any control, just to swing the chat back around to video games? Do you have any control over the views that it kind of chops between Balthazar, or is it just?
No, totally, so the only control I have is when it's in the third-person view. Then I have full, regularly expected third-person camera controls. But when it's jumping between top-down, side, and everything, that just happens based on where you're going and what sequence you're doing.
Sure. So Android butts, tell me more.
What is there to tell? It's just your view for 50% of the game.
It's a bit of a hike, but
just an Android butt. Movement looks great. How is the movement? Control nicely?
It does, yeah. It's really quick and responsive. It also helps. Something that I kind of talked about just to you guys, so bring it up again now, is I really like the dodge mechanic. When you dodge, you can just constantly be changing direction while you're sliding around, so it's not just kind of like a dash in one direction, it's a full-on controllable slide.
I remember you mentioning this a while ago, yeah. Maybe
the old Vanquish mechanic.
Yeah.
Nice. And if you want to hear more about Vanquish, tune into the Overcast Gamers show.
This coming week. We'll get it out on Monday, for sure. Monday or Tuesday, depending on how unprofessional we're feeling this week. It fluctuates between mildly unprofessional and extremely unprofessional. So.
Absolutely does. We, claim to fame, I believe our tagline on most of our social medias is the best and least professional video game hour.
Andromeda in a week too.
Oh man, Andromeda, what a whirlwind.
I actually missed today's yarns about Andromeda. I was busy doing work and stuff. So what's the latest? What's the latest?
Well,
The dialogue and animations are terrible. That's pretty much
Yeah, there you
it.
go. I was trying to beat around the bush, and Balthazar just made things a lot easier for me. Yes, that's exactly correct.
Dialogue and animations. Like, are we talking like puppet animations?
Yes. Essentially, it looks like a Bethesda game, and a crappy Bethesda game at that. Like, it looks like a dated Bethesda. I won't say crappy because none of the games are really crappy, but a dated Bethesda game for sure. It looks like Skyrim or something like that. Yeah,
Sure. Oh yes, it looks like Fallout 4, Bethesda's most recent game.
Yeah, no, that's probably true. Actually, I completely forgot about Fallout 4 for some reason. I was like, latest game, Skyrim.
I don't know about you guys, but if I were BioWare, I'd be hitting the old delay button on that, eh? If, you know, there's just no room for shitty games in 2017, it would seem.
Nah, man, and considering BioWare's history with retconning things that they done fucked up on, such as the Mass Effect 3 ending, which they completely changed because people, you know, whinged about it.
Yeah.
I would think that they would. Well, they can't really delay it now because it's coming out in, what, 4 days or something?
Yeah.
But I hope, like hell, they're working on a patch, like a massive patch right now. Booyah's saying the game volume's a little loud versus the chat volume.
Alright, let's fix that up. I'm assuming I can probably do something here. Settings.
Yeah.
Game. Nope. Sound. Let's just pump it all down a bit. Reduce them all by 3.
Down.
Let's, to be safe, maybe do 4. If that's still... Oh, it seems like it's come down a lot, so that may be too quiet now.
We'll ask the chat. We'll chat. Let us know what the sound's like, mix in comparison to the voices in the game, and we'll adjust accordingly.
Nice, that's good. Sounds like that's spot on.
Excellent, George.
Good thinking. I would have probably overcomplicated that situation. Rather than using the game menu, I would have been like, right, PlayStation.
Yeah, I was actually thinking exactly the same thing, Regan. So it's good we have Balthazar on hand to deal with that.
It's good. There's subtitles. Nice.
Incoming enemy attack from below.
Oh yes, there is subtitles. That's true. I played through Horizon with subtitles on, Regan. Did you play through it with subtitles on?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I just did that because at some points I was there was a little bit of grinding to be done, especially towards and towards the end there, and I just wanted to jam out a podcast or something like that. So I just chucked my headphones on and just did my grinding. But if something important did pop up, say I ran into a side mission or something, I still wanted to know what's going on, so I just whacked them subtitles on, and did me well.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. Like, I will usually listen to the voice acting and things, but if I'm getting to the point where I just want to get through it, I'll kind of read ahead of where the voice actor's up to and just skip it once I'm done and once I know what's up. Yeah.
I was doing exactly the same thing in Horizon, man, because they were speaking too slowly. That I was just like, oh, come on, like, get on with it.
Yeah. What? The Shadow Kaja?
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I heard that a few too many times.
Yeah. What do you mean, Shadow Kaja?
The voice acting was a mixed bag, in that game. It was
It was, yeah.
It started off pretty bad. I still can't get over how weird Aloy looks as a little girl. I don't understand how they fucked that up so bad.
I didn't think she was that bad. I didn't think
she looked like a dwarf to me. It looked like an adult who'd just been shrunk. Like
I don't know. I thought
really odd.
I thought she just looked like a plump, like baby fat type kid. One of those kids that like stays a little bit fat till they're like 7 or 8 and then slims down.
Okay, I can see that. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of her, and I'm gonna pop it in the chat and see what people say, because I feel I was kind of disturbed, to be honest, by how she looked.
See, I thought that was great. I thought but you know.
I'm a very critical, annoyingly critical person, so it's let me. There's a picture. It says Horizon Child. Oh yeah, that's not that one.
Horizon Child. It's a pretty small qualm to have, really, I suppose, as far as... Yeah.
It's absolutely nitpicking, but it was just weird. I was like, oh.
Let's check this out. The one thing I thought was great was... yeah, she just looks like a... I suppose she kind of does look a little
man,
bit...
that's totally... There's something off there, man. It's not right, eh?
She looks, yeah, quite young. I don't know. I think what it is like you can't quite tell how old she is. I'm not sure whether she's meant to be like young, like 5 or 6, or like 9 or 10.
I'd agree with that actually. Hang on, let me show you this one because this one's even stranger. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you for that confirmation. It is weird. It is weird.
Oh, okay, that's a terrible screenshot. That is awful.
She almost looks like, I don't know, she looks like her face has been hit by a truck in that one. Like
something is going on there.
Not a flattering shot there.
I think it's the lighting or something, but yeah, no, not at all.
Otherwise, small blemish on a great game though. Except how faux she is.
Daddy sure does love his little man, his little big man.
Oh man! Oh, that line, I lost it in that line, eh? Lost it. Hang on, I'm just gonna eat some pizza. You guys talk between yourselves.
So, how's the playing and talking at the same time going, Balthazar? I'm noticing there's not a whole lot of chat from you.
Yeah, you guys talking about Horizon. I haven't played it, so there's not a lot of input I can make with things like that.
Yeah, fair call.
So,
yeah,
honestly, it's easier though. Every week gets that little bit easier. I think it's because I've had 3 streams in a row now, or what have you, where I've been streaming. So it's actually become pretty damn easy now, to be honest.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, I found it difficult even just to play like normal games, let alone something like this where you're like on the edge of your seat the whole time. It's hard work. I appreciate that Abe's not kind of submitting us to eating sounds
pizza
down the
sounds,
microphone though. Yeah, like I did last week.
You're welcome, Reagan. I'm just that little bit more considerate.
Turns out I'm an asshole.
Nah, it's all good. I have a pretty sweet mute button on the front of my mic, so it's easy enough just to reach out and push it.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I have the little mixer, but it's like all the way down on the floor, so I don't, yeah. I'll probably put that up on the desk actually. Not that I really need it, but whatever.
There's some Crash Bandicoot chat going on in the chat. Mike, excited for the new Crash remake, the Insanity trilogy. I think it was called or something like that. Insane trilogy maybe. But yeah, no, I'm cautiously optimistic about it, Mike. The colours look a little bit washed out to me, which is tiny gripe, and just something about Crash himself. They've made him a little bit too goofy, like they've just gone over that threshold of goofiness that I wanted, but it's still Crash Bandicoot, so I'm gonna buy it, and I'm sure it'll be at least good, if not great.
At the end of the day, it's a 1-for-1 remake of those games, right? So just to be able to play them again, I think would be great.
Yeah, I think so. I'm just a little bit bugged by how goofy they've made him. I always found him cool, but then again, I was also like 10 when I played. Probably like 6 when I played that game. So
I got to cut in there and just say, hey, Mike, did you appreciate that segment at the end of the boss fight was probably an homage to when you beat the Metal Gear to death with its own arm in Rising? Because that's what I interpreted it to be.
I have no idea what's going on, man. This looks like Big Shell from Metal Gear Solid 2, and it's like you're beating it up with its own walkways.
It's like if Big Shell was secretly actually Arsenal Gear.
Oh man, yeah, give me that game.
So none of that makes any sense to me.
Oh, Reagan, you got to get with Kojima's craziness, man.
Yeah,
he's a madman. He's an absolute madman.
Bringing the battle to them.
Yes, so I've heard. I can't remember who it was who said they just like saw him in that cafe in Wellington.
It was
someone on Facebook. I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was my friend
Twitter?
Zach actually, who,
Alright.
well, yeah, my friend Zach on Facebook said he saw him or he thinks he saw him in a cafe on what's that place with Bodega? What's that street called? Oh man, I've been gone from Wellington. I can't remember the streets now. Bodega, Video Easy.
I don't know. I've never known street names.
No, me neither. I don't do street names.
Fuck, I was like the street king, like, man. And now it's all gone. It's all gone.
Who's
now.
the street king?
Yeah, I was the street king. Yeah. There's also a terrible film called Street Kings, which you can go with 50 Cent in it if anyone wants to watch that. Don't recommend it.
And if there was ever any doubt in anyone's minds if they hadn't ever seen pictures before or anything, yes, Abe is white from the way he just said that film with 50 Cent in it.
50 Cent.
50 Cent. Yeah, I'm about as white as they come. I'm almost translucent, to be honest. Yeah. I'm just seeing when Street Kings came out, and I'll give you guys a synopsis. Yeah, so it's got Keanu Reeves in it as well. He's a veteran member of the LAPD, is still mourning the loss of his wife and trying to navigate a world that does not make much sense anymore. When evidence implicates him in the death of a fellow officer, Keanu Reeves begins to question the loyalties of everyone around him. So pretty generic plot there.
Troubled police officer tries to sort shit out.
Yeah, that's essentially it. That's and I would hope in the movie everyone refers to him as Keanu Reeves as opposed to his character's name, because that would be way better. Speaking of Keanu Reeves action films, you guys have seen John Wick?
Rings a bell. Don't know if it's because I saw it or because people recommended it to me.
I can't say I've seen it. Sorry.
It's very, very good. I would highly recommend that for a watch. John Wick 2 has just come out in the States about a month ago, and apparently that's even better, so I'm excited because John Wick 1 was incredibly good action movie. It's so fun.
Keanu Reeves obviously is the action man, action star.
He is. He's the action man. Yeah. He does a really good job too. He did a lot of his own stunts, which props to him for that.
Does he have like any kind of character, or is he just like, I'm Keanu, yeah.
Perfect impression.
Yeah. Sort of. I mean, there's a catalyst for why he goes kind of nutso and starts murdering a bunch of people. It's not a spoiler because it happens in the first 10 minutes of the movie. They kill his dog. These people kill his dog, and he goes mental.
They kill his dog.
They kill his dog. Yeah.
That's why he's psycho. Yeah.
They being like horrible people, like they are awful people. They're not just like random thugs. They're some like shady organization, and they kill his dog, and he's like a hitman who's been out of the game for a while, kind of thing. And he goes a bit nuts. It's awesome though. It's got great cinematography, awesome action sequences where you can actually see what's going on, which I really appreciate because a lot of action movies don't really care. They're just like cut, and you what the hell's going on? Oh man,
Michael Bay films are the worst for that, eh? I remember watching one of the most recent Transformers film, and just honestly walking out at the end going, like, I don't think a single shot was longer than 2 seconds in that whole film. Like, it's incredible.
It's brutal, man. Michael Bay also has the shot of people rising up, and the camera rotating 360 degrees around them as they do.
Oh,
so
yeah.
People will like move up towards the top of the screen, and the camera will start rotating at the same time. There's a quality Bad Boys 2. Shit just got real. That's where that line comes from.
Yeah.
It's actually a good film, Bad Boys 2.
The Bad Boys movies are quite hard case. Yeah, I enjoy them. Those Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Yeah, exactly.
There's a new one coming out called Bad Boys for Life. So they've obviously just decided to skip 3 and go straight to 4.
Yeah. For Life. Interesting.
For Life, mate. Yeah.
It sounds like might become another Fast and Furious. No, it won't. What am I talking about? It won't get that bad.
I don't know, man. Like, you're throwing shade on Fast and Furious, but I've enjoyed those films since they rebooted. Well, they didn't reboot, but they Fast 5 was like a heist film. It wasn't even really a since they stopped being about boy races, essentially, they started being about just like cool action
Cars
movies.
and
Yeah,
totally.
5, 6, and 7, I've actually really loved. So
They're
I go to
just
see them all.
so
Like,
over the top, like
oh
so
yeah,
over the top. And I think that's what that's the niche they've carved out for themselves, right? Like, it's just,
Ma'am,
it's
are
just
you there?
ridiculous.
yeah, yeah, they are. They're really fun though. Like I remember when The Rock first came on the scene as an actor. I first saw him in The Scorpion King and thought he was just the worst thing to happen to cinema.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And now I actually quite enjoy it. He's kind of a selling point. Like if I see The Rock in something, I know he's going to have that big shit-eating grin. I'm like, damn, I got to go see that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once you're finished
Oh, that's right, The Scorpion King. I'm just, you know, they made a sequel to that, eh?
Straight to DVD, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, man, pretty sure it was. Yeah. That's a shocker.
Yeah, it was direct-to-DVD prequel to the 2002 film, The Scorpion King. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Shack
bad.
Jumper. Scorpion King is an awful film, and you know it.
The commanders put me in charge of your
It also, well, I'll give you one thing about the Scorpion King. It does have an amazing video game. I played the demo of the Scorpion King PlayStation 2 game back in the day, and it has this incredible jumping animation where it looks like if you constantly press circle, which is jump, it looks like The Rock is skipping, and you can make him skip around, and it's incredibly entertaining watching him do something so demeaning.
Stop calling me man.
Amazing. I'm quite keen on this John Wick film now. I'm kind of keen to see how they justify him murdering everyone based off of his dog's death. Like,
Yeah, no, it's
The commander was
No, go
calling
on.
for you. We better go see
I was
what's
just going
up,
to say,
man.
like, I mean, losing your dog's a pretty big deal, but I probably wouldn't go on a rampage over it, you know?
Yeah, I probably sold it a little bit false. He is like a hitman who's gotten out of the game kind of thing. So he has killed before. Yeah. He's not just a guy who loses his mind because someone kills his dog.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Sort
it kind
of
of
like
goes into the underground world of hitmen, and they have this sort of secret society. It's quite cool. It's good world building.
Nice.
To be.
Good. Yeah, good stuff. I'm just looking at the Mighty 8 page for pre-ordering Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix.
Oh man.
We've talked at length about the ridiculous of this naming convention, but pretty excited about that, eh? Bit of an opportunity to revisit my youth.
When does that come on sale? When does that being released?
That is being released 31st of March 2017.
Oh shit! So that's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, exactly 2 weeks.
Damn.
Yep. So might even pre-order that. You know, it is what it is.
Reagan, don't pre-order. You're killing the industry.
Killing the industry. Am I?
Every pre-order is another
nail in the coffin of the games industry.
Another DLC being released. Another half-finished game being released. I'm so against I hate it.
Tell me why. Explain the economics of what the why you're so opposed to.
When you're pre-ordering, you're essentially saying to a publisher or a developer, I don't care what you put out there. Here's my money.
See,
Now,
I'm with you, Abe, but I'm against you in this instance. So I agree with that being effectively the mentality behind it, that you're paying for a product that you have no idea the quality of. But when it's a remake, there's no risk here. You already know exactly what it's going to be. So Reagan, there's no downside to doing it in this particular instance, because you know exactly what you're getting.
I mean, and it's 2 games that have been out for what? 8, 9 plus years kind of thing. It kind of is what it is. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I would only rebuttal that, Balthazar, with you might have too much faith in people because they can still fuck up a remake. Like there's, I'm trying to think. I think the Darksiders or something, the PS4 port or
number 1, which was super disappointing because I fucking loved that game. And really, I would have absolutely rebought it on PS4 if it wasn't, acclaimed to have such terrible stuttering and outright broken segments and stuff.
Yeah, and same with Dishonored. Like that was another one that apparently has a pretty subpar PS4 port kind of thing. So I don't know. I'm still a bit. I'm morally against pre-orders in all shapes and forms.
Yeah. let's put it to chat. Chat, let's do a wee poll, and we'll keep this fairly informal. Yay or nay to pre-orders? Yay or nay?
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I don't know. I haven't pre-ordered games since... I'm trying to think the last one I've pre-ordered. Oh, I think it was Grand Theft Auto 5 for the Xbox 360, so it wasn't that long ago. Did I pre-order? No, maybe I didn't pre-order that. Maybe I just went to the midnight release and just got it because there was. I definitely went to the midnight release. I can't remember if I pre-ordered. I don't think I did actually.
I know what my last pre-order was, and I know what my next one's going to be as well.
God damn it, Balthazar.
My last pre-order was Final Fantasy XIV Heaven's Ward, because if you pre-order it, you can start playing it 3 days earlier than people who haven't pre-ordered. And my next pre-order will be Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood later this year, because again, I want to get in it 3 days earlier. So I have a legitimate reason. I'm not technically actually pre-ordering it. I'm just buying it 3 days before it releases, because then I can actually play it 3 days before it releases.
Right, that's fair enough. I can get behind that mentality.
Yeah, I think of it, maybe it's just that, like, if you can justify the pre-order in some way that doesn't, I guess, mean that the publisher or the devs could be dicks about it, then it's okay.
Yeah, you know, thinking about games that the only game that would even potentially I would think about pre-ordering would be Yooka-Laylee, or something like Yooka-Laylee, because it's done by indie devs. It's you know, it's something I'm really passionate about, but I'm not going to pre-order it just because I just don't. Yeah, I don't need to. Like, that's another thing in New Zealand. Oh, we've talked about this on the podcast, and I think Balthazar, you brought up one time this did happen, but games don't sell out here generally, so I don't really have to pre-order either.
Yeah, I think maybe there was only. I think we could only think of one time a game had sold out, and I can't remember what that game was.
Yeah, we did bring up... Yeah, no, I can't remember either. I'm not too sure.
No. Booyah says basically the same sentiment. Depends on the publisher or the dev. He's never pre-ordering a Ubisoft or Bethesda game. That's
fair enough. That's just common sense.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I have no problem pre-ordering Nintendo titles, which, yeah. Well, that's it, right? Like, if you're trusted, it'd be like if the next Uncharted came out, or whatever. Let's say The Last of Us.
Nintendo pretty much has a flawless track record, so I think that's probably fine. I can't think of a Nintendo game where you know, it's been janky or unfinished or something like that. Yeah, there've been Nintendo games that didn't live up to the hype, like Other M, Metroid Other M, or something like that. But nothing that's been half finished or you know, technically unsound kind of thing.
What about The Last of Us 2?
I wouldn't pre-order it just because it's not something that I do. I just don't pre-order anything. But I'll definitely buy it, and I'll probably buy it on day one.
You wouldn't be worried about, like, oh, I'm going to rush to the game store after work and pick up a copy. You wouldn't be worried that it's sold out, like, especially for a game like that.
I wouldn't be worried it's sold out, man. I've got JB and the warehouse right beside each other, so if one doesn't have it, the other's bound to have it.
Bold.
I did pick up Uncharted 4 on day one, and you know, I picked up what was their previous Naughty Dog? Oh, the Uncharted collection on day one as well.
Oh yeah.
But I've never had to pre-order, not for years.
Yeah.
What about Hello Games? Yeah, thanks for the contribution there, Mike.
Mike, one more like that. You're on your second strike. One more like that, and I'm removing your admin rights.
You know, there's a moratorium on the words Hello Games.
We should probably go talk to their leader first thing.
Nah, it's alright. No. Well, you know our thoughts about Hello Games. Well, you know everyone's thoughts about Hello Games, Mike. The world's thoughts.
You're number 2.
I can't wait to see what they do next day. I really can't. Like, it can't not be a shit show after No Man's Sky.
Well, it can't. I can't even imagine what they do next, Reagan. I can't.
I'm sure my people will have plenty of information for you. Please,
I think they'll keep working on No Man's Sky. They still are.
Well, yeah, those updates and things are still coming out, but it doesn't seem like any of the bitterness has gone away, and fair play to them. You know, if you're the most hated human on Earth for a certain period of time, at least by a specific audience, a certain chunk of the demographic, of the Earth's population, then yeah, you have every right to hold that against someone. Just you know, in reference to that, is them not accepting or not being there to accept that award at GDC for most innovative tech. They were off having dinner.
It's just unfortunate, eh? And
Yeah.
I think that kind of added to it. Like, it's like watching Bill O'Reilly. You know, they're kind of gone out the other end. They're so hated that I kind of like them now. If that makes any sense.
Interesting. Kind of, Reagan. Can you explain that a bit more?
Well,
Too bad vegetation's claimed
I think
most of it
when
now.
someone does something that's just so disagreeable, there's you go through. It's kind of like when you go through those stages of grief, and you're angry, and you want an explanation, and you want to know why, and all those kind of things, and then you come to acceptance. And when you've accepted it, and you just sort of start, like, when you accept No Man's Sky for what it is, and you start just kind of like looking back on it, it's kind of like, I don't know, I find it hard to really be angry at them, and it's just kind of like, eh.
I can kind of see that that opinion, but with regard to your Bill O'Reilly comment, is that like, do you like Bill O'Reilly? Like, I don't really get
No.
the comparison.
Like, it's just so ridiculous that eventually you've just got to let it go, like, and kind of just laugh at it. Like, Bill O'Reilly, when you watch him, the shit that he says, you're just like, come on, Bill, you can't believe that stuff, kind of thing, and you've just got to laugh, like,
Yeah.
he's like a big baby
so
man, and it's funny.
So it's not really like you like him. It's you're using him for entertainment value more than anything.
I guess so, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, you know, I can get on board with that. I can definitely agree with that, because it's hilarious. Like, all the shit that happened with No Man's Sky, as bad as I feel for them, it is funny. It is.
Yeah.
There's no arguing with that.
Booyah, so Regan's saying if you eat shit often enough, you'll grow to like it. No, no, that's not really what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
But I see your point.
Yeah. Mike also chimes in with, I hate Ubisoft more than Hello Games. It's a good amount of positivity going on here.
Man, every time, I think we've brought Hello Games up the last couple pods, They just, we need to let it go. It's just so entertaining.
They're a good horse to beat, you know. A long dead horse.
Yeah, good.
One of the Battlefield 1 horses that died in World War 1 and we're still beating them.
Oh, too soon.
too soon for Battlefield 1 reference.
A lot of horses lost their lives in World War 1.
This is true. We shouldn't, no, there's no laughing about that.
Wonder if there are any huge boards in
Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, but Booyah's been jamming Rainbow Six Siege. I've heard that's a good game. It looks to have the same appeal as Counter-Strike, where it has that sort of, you have one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment. Would you capture it or just let it slip? And then,
this is not the first time in this stream that you've just gone through. You've not just stopped at the relevant part. You've just kept going.
I think if you're going to say one opportunity, you need to complete it. You need to.
It is. I'm gonna try and slot that into every stream from now on. Anytime someone says one shot or one opportunity, I'm gonna complete the run.
I'm kind of with Booyah on this though. Like, I am kind of coming around to Ubisoft as well. Like, they've made some good decisions recently. Like, they decided not to do an Assassin's Creed this year or last year. They've had, like, Watch Dogs 2 was okay.
Yeah, you enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
You seem to have a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for it as itself, and also what it was over and above the original game. I think. Like,
right.
Yeah. Cool mechanics and things like that. What else have we had?
For Honor. Yeah, which
Honors,
I'll pick that up once. Apparently, it's had terrible server issues.
Really?
And which is a real shame, because I think that game it definitely has something special buried in there. And I'll pick that up once it gets to $20 to $30. I'll definitely grab it.
Booyah says no for Honor. Why not? Is it just the server issues, or what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed my time with For Honor, the beta that I played.
I've heard the campaign is okay, but it's sort of like the campaign in Battlefield, in that like it just teaches you the main mechanics, and that's kind
Yeah,
of
it's
what
sort
it's
of
there
it's the taster for the multiplayer, right? Sort of the
for. Rio
training
says
wheels.
don't support peer-to-peer connections in 2017
For PvP.
for PvP.
Yeah, well, I mean, dedicated servers would be nice, but few developers have them, few publishers have them, kind of thing. Dedicated server robust. Yeah, I agree, but we can't all have gold-plated.
What's the downside to peer-to-peer? Is it just that it's
I think
shit
it's more
experience?
latent. Yeah, more latency, more chance of latency. Yeah, just it's overall shitter experience. I'm not.
Plus,
I'm not,
if the host of the game has a shitty connection anyway as well, then it doesn't matter how close you are or how good your connection is, it's gonna suck.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, fair call. Fair call. So we've obviously made our way into a grassy type area, more of an open world kind of stage.
Yeah, so I mean, the whole place is open world, really. I mean, even that factory we were in earlier, I could go back there right now. It's connected, it's a part of the city, kind of thing, like.
Oh yeah.
So we're just kind of, it's opened up now into just the game. The starting factory is considered the tutorial area.
Right.
So now I'm just sort of out of that and just running around the world, doing shit.
Skimming around. Can you give us an example of this, like, can you show us specifically this kind of slide? What was that, dodging mechanic you were talking about?
It's just that, really. So I can just, like, you can see I start moving forwards as I dodge, but then I can just immediately kind of keep shifting around. It's not like I'm not locked into continuing to move in the direction I was moving in. If there turns out to then be something bad there, I can just immediately shift direction and slide around things, including in mid-air and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice. Booyah wants to know, Balthazar, if you're still playing Overwatch.
I haven't for a while. I say, sitting here in my jacket with the name sprawled across it. I'm waiting for when Orisa comes out. I'll probably get addicted again for a few months, because I'll log in to play Orisa, realise she's not actually that great, but then remember how much I love the game and keep playing it for a while.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry guys, I was just finishing off that pizza.
Did you get
the pizza is
through
done.
the whole thing?
I ate the whole thing.
Nice.
I regret nothing.
Man, I'm impressed you can fit a whole pizza within your stomach parts, eh? I just can't, like, actually fit it in.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. What can I say, really?
Oh no, I've actually just seen a pizza-related update on Facebook. A friend of mine, another at Hell's Pizza classic, 1 hour 15 minutes to have cold and what looks like a dropped pizza delivered. Clearly they have been enjoying St. Paddy's Day.
Oh man, the shade has been thrown on Hell's Pizza.
No.
Well, I'll tell you
tough.
what, Hell's Pizza is good, but they are a shadow of their former self. A shadow. Yes.
A shadow,
yes.
a mere glimpse.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys remember, when did they start in New Zealand? It was a long time ago anyway. When they first started, I remember the first Hell's Pizza I ever got. It was in Petone. There was a Hell Pizza in Petone. And it was incredible. It was the most gourmet shit. Like, it might have been because I'd only ever had Pizza Hut or Domino's before then. Probably not even Domino's. Probably like Eagle Boys. If you guys remember Eagle Boys. But it was incredible. It was just the most luscious, delicious pizza I've probably ever had in my life. And now Hell's Pizza, yeah, it's good, but it's not that game changer anymore.
They've settled into, they've realised all they need to do to beat their competition, so they have no reason to do more, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's... Mike is saying in the chat, he agrees it's good, but now it's bad. It's not, I wouldn't say it's bad, Mike. It's serviceable. And it's a hell of a lot better than Domino's and Pizza Hut. But, yeah, it's definitely a shadow of its former self.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, yeah. And their kind of risque ad marketing campaigns get to me sometimes, just because they're trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy, and that comes off a wee bit try hard sometimes.
It'd be difficult to keep it fresh, because they kind of, the whole premise of their sort of marketing is based around Hell's Pizza.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
and
there's
it's
only
all
so
based
far you
around
can
being
go with that.
controversial. It's everything they do is based around being controversial. Like with the thing they did with Sir Edmund Hillary coming back as a zombie, not long after he died, and that was all big uproar.
I totally missed that.
Oh man, yeah, that was like pretty shit of them, to be honest. Like I have pretty, I don't get offended easily, and I wouldn't say I was offended, but I was all like, yeah, that wasn't a good move, guys. Like Kiwis were not happy about that. They did the thing with the rabbit skin billboard. They had like a rabbit pizza, and they put a bunch of rabbit fur on a billboard, and a bunch of people got really mad about that. That one I didn't really care so much about. Yeah, you seem to have missed most of these, Regan.
Yeah. I don't know, I just don't think I really keep up with scandal or the news.
Yeah.
I think that's it, I just don't really watch the news.
Yeah, no, I don't watch the news either. I get all my news from Radio New Zealand or New Zealand subreddit.
Radio New Zealand. When do you listen to Radio New Zealand? During the day?
At work? Yeah,
yeah,
quite a lot. Yeah, quite a lot during the day. I like Radio New Zealand because they seem to be the only media outlet that doesn't put a spin on things.
Oh yeah, they just...
And they know how to spell, which is a 1+ from one Fairfax-owned outlet, which I won't even name because I hate them so much.
I think I know who you're talking about.
4 letters.
Yep, synonymous with things.
They even understand the concept.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
What are the little pickup things that you're picking up, Balthazar?
Some are money, some are
You should have said
items.
pickups.
Yeah,
You should have said
they
pickups.
are pickups.
Pickups, yeah.
Yeah, there's some money, some crafting items, some health items, some upgrade chips.
Yes, Mike, it is 5 letters. My apologies. My brain is not on form tonight.
What did you say? 3 letters?
He said
No, I
4.
said 4 letters for stuff without even thinking about it.
Having just slagged them off for not being able to spell.
Yeah, that's true. The irony is thick tonight.
Oh, so thick. Lathering it on. Yeah.
Called them out for failing. Failed by some instant karma. Yeah, you're right.
What's with the weird look?
They are still shit though. I'm not taking that back.
When I was going through some old data, it looks like what humans used to wear long ago. Certain human collectives used to use face paint like that too.
So what's everyone got planned for their St. Patrick's weekend? Anything special going on? Chat? Anything happening? We've got our house/flat warming tomorrow.
Nice, good stuff.
Yep, might be graced with the presence of Balthazar at that.
It's a possibility.
I hope he turns up. I'm not sure who else will, but
Be a three's a party, right? Three's a crowd.
yeah, totally. I'll have a few beers in the fridge,
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit. You guys could do a live from Regan's house broadcast.
Well, see, this is... I was thinking about this. Maybe we could test out Nintendo's thesis here and get you to bring along your Switch, and we'll see how quickly we lose all social credibility, Balthazar. Yeah. We can see if we all end up out on the roof playing games on the Switch,
Wait, whose thesis was this?
Oh, in the Nintendo's their original promotion of the Switch, and how there was that girl that took her Switch over to that rooftop
Took
party.
it to a party,
Yeah.
and they were all playing fucking... I don't even remember what, Mario Kart
Maybe
or
Mario
something
Kart,
on the roof.
yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
can't
that's right,
promise
yeah,
that because they haven't released Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch yet, so all I have is
Hope it
Bomberman.
wasn't Bomberman. Yeah, God, that game was hard work. We played a little bit
We
of
were
that,
both
bit of
so
that the other
shit.
day. Yeah, we played like 3 or 4 rounds, and every single time we were the first ones out. I think maybe we had just stacked the odds against us by having like 8 CPUs and then two human beings. So
Oh, that's pretty. That's a a 10-person Bomberman game there. That's gonna be tough, man.
The problem
frantic,
is,
yeah.
like, you can't. We had the kind of discussion at the time that whether you win or lose, you feel like you're shit at the game. Because if you lose, you were beaten by, a bot, which we lost every time because they know how far every bomb can blow up, so they always stay out of range for everything. But then, on the flip side of that, that they know where the bombs are going to blow up. So if you win, you feel shit because they deliberately stood in one knowing it was going to get them because they know how far it goes. So it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, you actually are a loser and suck at Bomberman.
Oh man, I just imagine they call people into to design the new Bomberman. Well, they haven't had to design a Bomberman game for years, but they're like, all right, so whether you win or lose, we want you to feel like you suck at the game. That's the main. That's the one pillar of this game, guys. We need to design the game around this mechanic, around this feeling. This is Bomberman. What's it called? Bomberman R.
Super Bomberman R, yeah.
Super Bomberman R is the game we're talking
on the
about.
Switch. Yeah.
I
actually thought that the Wii control, like using the Joy-Con as a single player controller, was okay.
Yeah,
it was good.
It is. Yeah.
Okay. With the sort of like fit in your hands. All right.
Yeah, well, like I had I guess what was the right-hand side of the Switch, so that Joy-Con from the right-hand side, and or maybe it was it would have been the left-hand side, and I found that like my right hand kind of wrapped around what was ordinarily the shoulder button, and it was quite satisfying. So,
okay.
Yeah. Master Code 6. This game is, as Mike has said, NieR Automata. You missed out on the synopsis. Basically, androids killing robots to save the planet so that humans can return to it. Have I... Oh, and android butts. Yeah. Have I nailed it?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
That's it, yeah. You could have just said the last part is pretty much the synopsis.
Android butts, yeah.
The, will he know any of the... What are Platinum's most famous games, Balthazar?
Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, because they like to invent words.
Revengeance, yeah.
Transformers Devastation, they did that terrible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, though supposedly it wasn't their fault it was terrible. The combat was apparently still super tight and really good. It was other stuff that sucked.
Okay.
Vanquish, of course, as well, which is
Vanquish.
One of my favourite. And that's about it. They haven't done a massive amount.
No, I suppose... Hang on, I'm going to bring up the Wikipedia page. Yeah, so Mark Seven says it looks... it reminds him of Bayonetta, and yeah, that would be... Same developer, man. Platinum Games developed both of them.
Yep.
Japanese developer, eh? Balthazar.
I would assume so, based on their games.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Tell us more about this pug, though, Mike. I hear... What's his name?
Frank.
Frank. That's such a pug name, isn't it?
It's directly
It's
from
the
Men in
pug
Black,
from Men in Black, yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. It all makes sense.
Well, here we go. 2008, 2012. Platinum had a partnership with Sega.
Vanquish would have come out in that time, because that was a Sega published game.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, did they do Tactics? Tactics?
Yeah,
Mad World was supposedly really good as well. That was a 360 exclusive, wasn't it, I believe?
No, Mad World was that weird Wii game that looked like it had the dude from Gears of War and a chainsaw, and it was all
that's
black
right.
and white.
That's what I meant, yeah. For whatever reason, I got it confused with the fact that Mad World was the Gears of War song.
Oh, yes, that is the... Yeah, true. I can see how that... Yeah, that is very confusing.
And they were both out at around the same time. A game that used the song and a game with the title, both released around the same time. I never played Mad World, but I saw it everywhere, which isn't necessarily a good thing. I saw it, on every store shelf, which means it was never, sold out or anything.
Yeah, very striking visual style, that game, eh? Completely sort of black and white, chiaroscuro, kind of contrasts, and just blood spraying every which way. which was always interesting. Just having a read of this Wikipedia page. Platinum Games collaborated closely with Nude Maker while developing the game. What is Nude Maker?
Nude Maker.
Nude Maker. They're a dev. That's the name of a dev in Tokyo. Their first. Oh, they directed the first two. Some of the people directed the first two titles in the Clock Tower series.
Oh wow!
The Clock Tower.
That was old Scissorman.
Yeah, the Silent Hill kind of competitor at the time. Good old Clock Tower for PS1.
I believe it was it originally on PS1, or I want to say it was originally on the very original was on the Super Nintendo.
Clock Tower. Didn't they have like full 3D kind of 3D graphics?
The original was The original was entirely 2D.
Oh really?
Like a side-scrolling, puzzle.
Oh,
Pretty
like
sure.
Castlevania
I could be entirely wrong, but if you want to Google it, I'm fairly sure the original Clock Tower was on the Super Nintendo.
I'm gonna have a look. Oh, here we go. No, I think you're right. 19.
I wonder what makes them choose 96.
No, that's PlayStation. I saw it said SNES before. Clock Tower. Oh, Clock Tower SNES. Entertain yourselves, everyone. This is some bloody great audio entertainment right here.
Just gonna look up the thing.
This is where we need the. Oh, actually, I'm glad there's no camera on me at the moment because it'll be even more boring.
We should have some kind of like waiting music, eh? Like, all right, everyone.
Elevator music.
Yeah, just wait while we get this sorted.
There's some YouTube footage of Clock Tower on SNES, but I can't seem to find any sort of Wikipedia entry or something. So I assume it's out there. It's just not maybe that well known or something. I'm not too sure. We'll have to assume that it does exist. But no, interesting. I can't even remember where that tangent came from or where that was going. But Clock Tower on SNES, pick it up.
Something to do with Platinum. Looking at the list of things they made was how Clock Tower came up.
Oh yes,
some sort of association with Clock Tower.
What's going on in the chat there, Regan?
But yeah, it's just asked if anyone is picking up Destiny 2. I am not.
If it's on PC and I can play it at 60 FPS, then sure.
They lost me with the Red Bull promotion, but yeah, I couldn't be dealing with Bungie and Activision's combined lack of morals. And yeah, they lost me, man. They lost me.
Yeah, are you ready for having a part of your childhood ruined, Regan? Well, not really a childhood, but you're about to see probably the closest thing you'll ever see to naked Sephiroth without a penis.
Oh, good. All right, I'm ready for that.
Just what the doctor ordered.
I actually woke up this morning thinking to myself, man, there's one thing that I need in my Friday, and that's naked Japanese characters' sans penises. Does he have a massive sword?
No.
Oh, that depends what you mean.
I mean, does he have a massive blade like a?
yeah. Keep going with the euphemisms becoming thick and fast.
Sheath and unsheath at will.
Oh man, Jesus Christ, I'm losing it. Innuendo is going to make my head explode.
It's like, I mean, Sephiroth's sword had like a slight curve to it, so I guess.
Oh Jesus. Is it an upward curve?
It is, yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends on your angle in relation to it. But
yeah, it was so long that he was the only person who could comfortably wield it.
Yeah, I bet he was. That's why he could. That's why. Yeah. Anyway. Mars7 Coda 6 says apparently there are rumours of a Modern Warfare 2 remaster, which I don't know. Yeah, potentially. Now the interesting thing about Modern Warfare 2 is that when the multiplayer came out, after they released Modern Warfare 2, the developers who were Infinity Ward actually got embroiled in a lawsuit with Activision over the royalties from that game, and that's when they separated off to make Respawn, who did Titanfall. Now, following that meant there was bugger all people, because so many of them left and went and made Respawn, there was bugger all people to support the multiplayer of Modern Warfare 2. So essentially it got taken over by hackers and people, and no one wanted to play it because it was absolutely shite. So if they remastered it, they would have to guarantee that there is... Sorry, I'm distracted by what's happening on screen. they would have to guarantee that there was support and moderation for the multiplayer. Yeah, so I don't know. I'd be keen on that because I enjoyed Modern Warfare 2, and the No Russian mission is, you know, incredible. Like that will stick. That will always stick in my mind. That mission. That was nuts for them to put that in there. Speaking of nuts or lack thereof.
What is it? Some context to this. So, why is it an android of some type?
No, he's a machine. So all the other machines kind of bore him out of their combined network consciousness, and he's learning and evolving as the fight goes on, and he's leveling up, and yeah.
The shading on his inner thighs is catching me off guard because if you look at it the wrong way, it makes it look like he's got no dick, no balls, and just a ton of pubes.
Oh right, yeah. He's very unhairy. Like there's no there's no hair to be speaking of aside from his long blonde hair. It's odd.
Yeah, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
I like how
So
we sort of
cute.
we were up around sort of 16 people and watching the stream, and then as soon as we started talking about Sephiroth's sword, it dropped down pretty quickly.
There's some die-hard Final Fantasy fans. There were some Square Enix developers in there. They're all not having a bar of it. Squaresoft, actually.
Yeah,
Squaresoft,
yeah, back when it was 7, yeah.
Squaresoft through till the end of 9?
Yeah,
I wanna
9
say,
was
and
still
10
soft, yeah.
Yeah, and then it became Square Enix at, I want to say 10, but maybe that's too early as well.
I'm not sure.
So, yeah, I've zero idea. I just remember Squaresoft being the, that was the name. That was the. Square Enix still sounds a bit weird to me. Squaresoft was the name. That was
It's actually weird. The first. Oh. Okay, I've not seen that move happen before. I've never been hit by that before, apparently. Square Enix, I believe, was their movie department.
Oh, okay.
And where the game department merged with the movie department, they just made Enix the universal title rather than Soft. I guess because Soft, being short for software, doesn't necessarily extend to people's perception of film. And Enix doesn't really fucking mean anything, so...
Why does the machine have blood?
I don't know.
Is that just the
Japan?
Just the lubricant?
Red lubricant.
Yeah, it's just brake
Red oil.
fluid.
Yeah, fluid.
Damn it, not another
Just
one.
brake fluid, man. You see how slowly he was moving.
I tell you what, like over the last week or so, I've managed to build up an addiction to watching basically people construct engines on YouTube. So I've been watching this one guy like basically put together motorcycles from scratch and like rebuild engines and things. It's pretty pretty fascinating stuff. Yeah.
Interesting. I thought you meant game engines for a second.
Yeah, I did as well.
Can't be particularly interesting. Watching someone code.
No. There's this guy in the States who basically, like, I'm sure there's plenty of guys in the States who do this, but he's this old guy who just tinkers around in his shed, and his YouTube channel is called Hacker Week. So every week he does a video of him just like hacking around in his shed, like tinkering with stuff. And he's done a few like cafe racer motorbike conversions and things. So I've just been watching his channel.
What the hell
And have kind of not really played any video games as a result. Just been like, watching this guy tinker in the shed.
I do love old middle-aged men, especially on YouTube, who just seem to have a channel and they understand YouTube better than I ever could. They seem to have garnered like thousands and thousands of followers, and they somehow have like a full 1080p HD camera, and like what the...
Yeah, totally. The funny thing about this guy, his name, yeah, I think he's got about 80,000 followers or so, or like subscribers,
Man.
which is good going. But I'm pretty sure he has just had one of those old like film camcorders. Like he is running on some seriously old school technology, but he just makes it work. He just somehow makes it work. Because you occasionally like see the reflection of his camera and things, and it's like one of those old ones with the wee flip out screen on the side, and
yeah.
you know,
I know the ones.
strap your hand to it kind of thing. It's pretty good stuff. But he knows his shit when it comes to putting engines together. So yeah.
I wonder if he's got one of the cameras that I decided to. I don't want to say buy because I got it given to me for Christmas or something.
That I decided to get given for free.
Yeah.
I wish I could just make those decisions and they just happen. I've decided to get a free PS4
Just before this technology became inferior, I got this for Christmas, and it was a mini DVD camera. Do you guys remember mini DVDs? And then that format, you know, when have you ever heard anyone quote mini DVD again? So, you know, I got that camera
just,
just didn't really use it.
You weren't the only one that made that mistake, though, Abe. I mean, Sony made that mistake and made an entire console using some, like, UMDs that they were certain were going to be the future of game storage.
That's true. Bloody PSP. Man, bad move there.
Who would have known
we're heading
that...
back towards cartridges.
I was going to say, who would have known that Nintendo had it right from the start, that cartridges were going to be the way of the future for game storage.
Cartridges are the jam.
Well,
man.
only
if they
for
could
Nintendo.
Fit a 50 gigs, if they could fit the amount of data that's on a 50 gig Blu-ray onto a cartridge, man, I'm all for that.
Which they can. I mean, you can get... what is a cartridge other than just a different way of saying a freaking micro SD card, which, yes, you can get more than 50 gigs on those. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, yeah.
I think we've earned a breather.
Let's go back. Let's take it back. Let's go back to the man. It's the other thing I love about carts is they just instantly load, which is amazing.
Well, that's the big thing about them, right? Is I'm not sure. I don't know if cartridges are the same thing as SD cards though. I'm gonna do some research.
What you do is you get
100. Google it.
You take like 112 gig SD cards, so you have 1200 gigs. You put them all together inside one larger plastic housing so it looks like people's basic expectation of what a cartridge should look like, and then you put every single game from a specific console generation on it, and then done. Everyone's game libraries could just be made to like, this is my PS4 cartridge, and it has like every PS4 game that you own on it. That would be amazing.
Man, it's like a contemporary version of those 100 games in one type things.
Yeah.
Oh, I want.
Just doing some Googling. It seems when you search like SD cards, cartridges, things like that, you get a lot of people kind of asking the same questions about like the Nintendo Switch, like what are the loading times from micro SD versus the cartridges and things. So
okay.
I'm going to continue to snoop.
I've got to say, actually, speaking of cartridges and cartridge sizes and things, I definitely think, I mean, obviously they made the decision for a reason, the reason probably being to force you to buy both and give them more money, or re-buy DS games in the different cartridge size if you want them portable on a Switch, but it does irk me quite severely that the Switch cartridges are not the same dimensions as DS cartridges, and that there is no DS size cartridge slot on the Switch, so I can't just get rid of my 3DS and play them all on Switch.
Yeah, that is a bit... What do you think's going to happen to the 3DS in the gaming landscape, Balthazar?
I reckon it's going to continue for a while until more people have adopted the Switch, but I'm certain that the Switch is replacing both the Wii U and the 3DS. They're just going to get rid of both, and they're going to start only developing games for the Switch.
Yeah, it seemed to seem that way as well. 3DS is their best-selling, handheld ever, I think. Actually, that might be a bit of overstep. Game Boy seems to have probably done more than, I would imagine, did more than that. Kind of want to see now. Best selling. A lot of googling this stream. Nintendo, Nintendo's like smashed today. Best selling game consoles handheld. Nintendo 415 million. the next closest is Sony with 86 million.
Operator to 9S.
Wow.
Well, you can't really
Absolutely nailed it.
blame that complete difference. Some people who like specific genres of games are big fans of the Vita, but the PSP was a massive flop, and the Vita is really considered outside of Japan to have been a massive flop. Nintendo are pretty much the only handheld console manufacturer that have had success in the Western market at all.
I reckon Microsoft should just basically take like a GTX 1080 or something, strap a screen on the front of it, and then be like, Microsoft blah blah blah, and just like try and bring like a really like an Xbox or a PlayStation experience to handheld. That'd be an interesting take, because obviously, what's that?
I was going to say I should just show you, because I know it was your favourite element in Final Fantasy 15, Regan, so I'm just going to take a moment to do some fishing.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
you can do fishing in this game? Awesome.
Every game that comes out of Japan has to have fishing in it now.
I love it. I love it. That's great. I do love a good fishing minigame.
What do you gain from fishing in this game?
This is incredible.
You get fish. I don't know what purpose they have other than there being a trophy for getting one of every type of fish.
Wow.
This is the game I would least suspect to have fishing. This is incredible.
This has come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really has. It's kind of nice though. You just stop and smell the roses and engage in a spot of fishing.
Got a koi carp. Let's move on.
Who's this other android that you're hanging out with?
That's 9S. He's a scout android. He was the one who was in the flying mech suit in the first level, kind of helping me out.
Nice.
So we're buddies, we're pals.
Are you cut from the same chassis, as it were?
Might be. I don't know. They do have a pretty great kind of evolving dynamic as the game goes on, though. 9S is just kind of becomes obsessed throughout the game with trying to get 2B to call him Nines, because that's what his friends call him, even though he has no friends. He just wants the name to catch on. It's pretty great.
Has this game got a lot of humour in it?
A degree of it, yeah. It definitely, it all comes from the dynamic of these two characters, which is actually quite funny that every now and again you receive emails or broadcasts from humans, kind of the human leaders on the human colonies on Mars and stuff, and it's just a pretty interesting kind of take on development that they've deliberately made the androids seem much more personable than the humans. They have, much more dynamic, growing relationships, whereas the humans seem fucking stale and boring. Everything they say is so corporate, kind of thing.
Interesting piece of social commentary there from Platinum Games.
Yeah, totally.
So now we're actually coming up to my favourite part of the game. They did a good job. I always like when developers put the best part, or one of the coolest parts early on. Because it makes it much easier to sell the game to other people, because they get to a really good part early on and they agree that the game is great. So we're just getting up to the theme park, which is my favourite level, favourite game music in a game in a long time, in this level, and one of the coolest boss fights in the game, though the first time you play it you don't know how cool it is. Kind of as you play the fight multiple times without giving away spoilery ways, as the game progresses, you kind of, it becomes really cool. This is just my favourite part of the game, definitely.
Nice.
Is the boss a giant clown by any chance?
It's an opera singer.
Interesting.
Okay.
Is it a machine opera singer?
It is, yes.
Well, it would have had to be, right? Because they're all machines. So
yeah.
That seems like a dumb question now. Now that I think about it.
There was a heart in that sort of backdrop there, eh? In the sort of
yes.
castle thing.
I'll see if I can get it in view again. No, I can't just yet. You will see it again later, though. Yeah, it's got a heart cut through the middle of it.
Interesting.
Is there any explanation for that, or is it just?
Not now. I believe Mike would probably know more of it, having finished his second playthrough already. I believe there's something that 9S brings up at some point about there being various treasures in the world that are made as different shapes, and one of the shapes is a heart. That the treasures are regarding human emotion potentially and stuff like that, but I think that the heart in the theme park is supposed to be directly linked to one of the emotions or one of the treasures.
Damn, this sounds awesome. Like this sounds way more complex than I thought it was going to be.
It really is.
That's
like
a high concept idea.
It's really hard to talk about this game without going in spoilers, because on the surface it's just a hack and slash game in which you kill robots, but the spoiler of the game is how the game plays out in multiple playthroughs, and by playing through the game multiple times and experiencing the different ways it plays out in the multiple playthroughs, it gets deeper and adds more to it each time, and kind of you understand more of what it is. And yeah, it's not the same game effectively. If you were to pick up this game, yeah, it's actually doing that thing that a lot of games claim to do but never quite pull off, where each playthrough is actually considerably different to the previous one, because it's actually scripted to be a different game on each playthrough, not just be a choices thing. It is actually a different game each time you play it. Obviously, there's a finite number of different plays. Then? Kind of. Like... I still... half and half. I still kind of would for some reasons, but for other reasons I would say also it's kind of maybe 3 or 4 campaigns in one game. Yeah. And the first one is the driest. It's very much the kind of just getting you into the fact that it's a hack and slash action game. And then the subsequent ones after that are more the... You've probably got a lot of questions after that. We're going to start delving into them now.
Cool. Mike says there are lots of cool secrets and secret areas. Sounds like just your thing, Mike. If I think back to your classic Bloodborne days. Platinuming Bloodborne.
Man, that's... Even thinking about that makes me shudder. Platinuming, but you... Oh, yeah. Balthazar, you platinumed it as well, eh?
I didn't, no. That's insanity. No.
Oh, okay.
I got close. I think I was only missing 1 or 2, and they were Chalice Dungeon trophies, and I just got bored of Chalice Dungeons because I've been doing them for so long that I just stopped.
Balthazar, here's an interesting concept. Faith Burb, by the way, welcome Faith Burb, says, considering buying, never played a NieR before though, what would your thoughts be on someone who's never played one of these games before? Do you think it's like approachable, or or would it be just fucking
yeah, I mean, I guess if the question is, can you pick up this game with no previous NieR universe or gameplay knowledge, I am smitten by this game and I've never played a NieR game before. So, that's your answer.
There you go.
It's a spin-off. So NieR, the previous NieR was a spin-off of the Drakengard series, and NieR Automata, I still don't know how you pronounce it, is a spin-off of the original NieR. So it's a spin-off of a spin-off. It's so far removed from the original ideas of the series that it is its own thing. Absolutely.
That's cool. And it's a platinum game, so, win-win.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by this game. It doesn't look like my sort of gameplay. It looks a bit too arcadey for me in terms of gameplay. But all that crap you've said about the story and the weird hearts embedded in things makes me really intrigued by it.
If there's one thing that gets Abe off, it's lots of story.
Oh, you know it, mate. That narrative. Oh,
give me a bit of narrative any day.
Those high concept philosophical ideas, that just brings out the pretentiousness, and I love a good bit of pretension.
Yeah, it's the problem with that for me is it's like there's never an end to those questions. Like once you start getting, it's the thing that always gets me about philosophy and like talking to people who studied philosophy in university. We've all had those conversations, and you just walk away going, that was cool and that was fun, but we didn't get anything done. We didn't answer any questions.
You know who studied philosophy at university?
You?
Me. Yeah, I studied. I got a minor in it, so I took papers on it, but it wasn't what I went to uni for. I went for film and media, but I took philosophy because it was one of the only things that really interested me, and it wasn't completely worthless. But a lot of it did have me going, what the hell am I doing? Why am I even at this lecture about aliens and shrink rays?
Oh wow.
So you'll get a you're about to get a nice view of the theme park, so you'll see that heart cut into the side again shortly.
Beauty. Yeah, I'm loving the aesthetic. It's really nice.
Yeah. I think my most useless lectures that I went to were probably management lectures. I did maybe one 100 level management paper, and it was a load of wank. Like they essentially got you together into groups, and you did like group stuff. I can't even remember learning anything. I don't recall. I just remember going along and thinking to myself, like, why have I done this to myself? Like, it just filled with like a bunch of BCom students. Just, oh man, it was awful.
Yeah. Are you a numbers guy, Regan? Are you a numbers guy, or are you a sort of English creative guy?
See, I don't know, it's hard because I would have said, when you'd asked me, because I studied music, and I would have always said, oh, I'm expressive and creative and all that kind of stuff. But I think I come to that from a logical perspective, and I think that's why, like, because I did songwriting and things, an expressive point through really logical and kind of like clear-cut example, like, oh, I want to make this point. Cool, well, I've got like a chorus and 3 verses to make that point, and like it just gives you this like sort of framework to work on. So I think I'm kind of like, I like to be expressive, but I also like to have a framework for it. Kind of thing, if that makes sense. Yeah.
No, I understand that. I definitely understand. I can relate a lot to that, man. Yeah, pragmatism is a trait I hold above almost everything. It's like, just logic and pragmatic. People being pragmatic is something. If I meet someone and they're just their logic can override their emotions, I'm immediately like, I want to be friends with you. You seem like a good person.
Yeah, totally. Mike, by the way, mate, you're so close to losing your admin privileges. It's not funny.
He's getting a bit big for his boots there with the old admin.
I think he's letting it go to his head a bit here. He's already banned someone from the chat, and
he's getting a bit smart there, Mike. You better watch it, mate.
No, we appreciate you being here, mate, but cut it out.
Oh, here we go. This is is this your opera singer?
Yeah. Her name is Simone. Holy shit, though, actually, I never noticed that her name is in a foreign language that you can't read. I only know that her name is Simone from the second playthrough. I didn't realise that her name is some weird robot language, and you don't know what it is if you're playing as your first playthrough.
Simone.
I'm still like intrigued by Balthazar. You sent me through a piece of music from the OST this game, and the vocals were in some sort of Eastern European language, which I didn't. I thought it would have been the typical Japanese kind of not J-pop, but the sort of emotive anime style Japanese music. But it was quite a rough sounding language, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. Where that's come from?
It is. You're right, Mar 7, Coda 6. Creepy as fuck, boss. Actually, it's weirding me out.
Oh, it's not even at the creepy bit yet.
It's right.
Wait till she takes off that dress and reveals like this, no genitalia.
Second boss in the game. They really need to establish that precedent early. None of the bosses have genitalia.
Does 9S or 9s, does he actually help out in combat, or is he just kind of along for the ride?
So he does and he doesn't. Essentially, he does things in the story that allow, like during the fight, that allow you to make progress with the fight. So it might be like an enemy gets a shield up that you can't break through, and he'll hack through. He'll hack into their brain to shut off their shield abilities and things like that, so that you can carry on hitting them. So he seems fairly useless, just kind of spinning around, and essentially he probably isn't actually doing any damage. He's just there for story purposes. but it's also fair to say that you wouldn't be able to finish any of the bosses or anything without his help.
Interesting. And also the the little robot dude you've got floating around beside you, is that you shooting with him, or is that just him shooting?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
If we take hacking damage, it'll affect our
Wow,
bodies
what's
as well.
happening here?
So that minigame that you're seeing now, that's actually me playing as 9S, technically. But you don't know just yet that it's one of his powers. That's his hacking ability, basically.
Ah, cool. Very cool. Why does everyone seem to have white hair? And what's up with all the white hair? Like, remember the original Devil May Cry springs to mind as well. What up with the white hair? I suppose it's quite an anime type convention, right? Stark contrasts of crazy hair.
So now we get to what's kind of the actually creepy part of the fight, because essentially now this whole mission was we were coming to rescue an army of androids who came in before us to investigate, and this is that army that she's kind of enslaved and tied onto posts and has hacked so that she controls them. So you're essentially fighting your own comrades.
Man, they're like crucified as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super creepy.
That's intense. Yeah. Wow.
So it's like, because they're just robot skeletons, it's, not that creepy, but when you actually think about what it's representing, that they are your people as you're playing an android kind of thing, you're essentially, it would be the equivalent of fighting, flayed human corpses crucified to stakes.
Man, that's some like From Software shit right there. Damn. Booyah says Game of the Year is coming out in less than a month. I hope you're not talking about Mass Effect Andromeda, Booyah, because things have taken a turn with that game.
Let me think. Less than a month. Less than a month. What is he?
Is he referring to Kingdom Hearts? Is he a Kingdom Hearts fan?
Oh, Persona 5.
Ah, gotcha.
He's going to be referring to Persona 5.
The old Atlas game. I've been trying to figure out what the hell Persona is. I've been delving into sort of YouTube videos and things to try and figure it out, and I still can't quite get a grasp as to what's going on.
Alert. Saturation attack triggered by enemy consciousness data. Failure to destroy it quickly may lead to serious damage in memory regions.
Sorry, I got intrigued by the combat. Yeah, no, I've got to keep talking. I got too into what was going on the screen. Balthazar, can you give us a brief overview as to what Persona is?
Not really. It's far too difficult to explain.
Yeah, I'm just not even going to try.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular JRPG series ever, pretty much.
Yep.
It's a combination of a classic JRPG in terms of sort of dungeon delving and combat and stuff like that, combined with aspects of dating sims and fucking homework and...
It sounds like that Japanese game Summer Lesson that was coming out.
Oh yeah.
The only kind of instances of homework I can think of in games are like Bully, when you had to do class work.
Yeah.
And
what about
I think
the PS1 Harry Potter game?
I was just going to say that.
Cool.
Yeah, the Harry Potter game where you have to learn the spells by waving your wand around in certain ways.
Oh man, the first Harry Potter game was the only game I've ever played that had contextual jumping.
Oh yeah.
So there was no jump button. It just jumped when it wanted you to jump.
Just did it for you.
There you go, Abe. Just what you wanted to see. She's revealed what's under the skirt momentarily.
That's brilliant. Booyah's also said in the chat, Summer Lesson is why he brought the PSVR.
That's some quality investment there, Booyah. Good job.
Yeah. That's if anyone's looking at, hang on, let me do our viewers a favour. Let me grab the old link for you. Don't judge me for this. Judge Booyah in the chat there, because this is all his fault. You just take a look at this. Because I remember we were discussing this on a podcast, weren't we, when Tokyo Game Show was on, and I was talking about my Tokyo Game Show experience. I wasn't there, but I watched it for the first time watched the live stream and completely blown away by my lack of understanding as to what was going on.
I'm still trying to figure out what the story is with Summer Lesson.
Yeah. It just seems like another perv simulator, to be honest.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I remember one of the taglines in that trailer was real human interaction, and I also remember thinking that is a bold-faced line, you know it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it stands for itself. It just is wrong. It's just straight up wrong.
Very strange. Very, very strange. It's
Oh, you mean the hacking?
I was talking to someone at work actually the other day about Galgun, because I was like, oh, do you know another game's been banned in New Zealand? And then he was like, oh, Galgun. I was like, what? Does everyone know about this? Like, I thought this was quite niche news, but apparently everyone knows that when something gets banned in New Zealand, it's it's quite big news apparently in the video game community at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Galgun.
Galgun, man. Gal asterisk gun, yeah. Mars 7 Coda 6 just brung up, do you remember the stealth parts in the second Harry Potter game? That'll be the Chamber of Secrets. And unfortunately I don't. I'm not sure if I played the second one. I definitely played the third one and the first one.
Was the second one the one where he got the cloak of invisibility, or was that in the first one? Because I seem to recall some sneaking through the library, trying not to get caught by Filch or something. Segments.
That's the first one, Balthazar. That's his dad. Yeah, his dad's invisibility cloak that he gets given. And yeah, you're right. He's sneaking through with in the movie is just the sort of lantern floating through midair. Man, Harry Potter's awesome. It is. It really is. I love it.
You're a big Potter nut, aren't you?
I'm a pothead, mate. I'm a massive pothead. Love it. What about best licensed games or worst licensed games? Chat, can you tell me the best or worst licensed games you've played? I think my best licensed game is probably Spider-Man 2 for PlayStation 2, which was a lot of fun. Just swinging around that city was wonderful.
I've never played it, but Balthazar seems to have been a huge fan, and this is, I guess, topical given we're playing a platinum game of Transformers Devastation.
Yes.
That was fun, yeah.
It could be a trap.
I'm actually just looking through my game library now to try and see licensed games that did. I mean, I guess.
What about Shadow of Mordor?
Yeah, that was actually what I was about to mention, because it is the Lord of the Rings IP.
That's a good point. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor.
Because I was going to say, obviously, the one that immediately comes to mind as one of the most successful ones was the Batman Arkham series.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, of course, yeah, absolutely.
But then
redefined superhero game.
But then, as an extension of that, but just being, from the combat system, feeling as though it was just derived entirely from that series. Yeah, Shadow of Mordor is definitely, I consider, a step up in terms of a game. I definitely preferred it over Batman, so it would potentially take my top spot as best licensed game.
Two have been brought up in the chat. Booyah mentions Aladdin.
Was that Sega? The original freaking.
It was.
I actually
so hard,
bought that game recently. Good GOG got Aladdin and The Lion King. You could grab them both on PC.
I have some choice words to say about The Lion King. Let me tell you that.
I'm buying those right now.
What's that?
Oh man, The Lion King is unbelievably difficult. Like I can't. It's just ruthless, that game. And that was back. Like I played it not that long ago, and I thought it was. How did I even possibly play it back when I played it? When I was like 8 or whatever. Ridiculous. Return of the King. Shark Jumper is saying Lord of the Rings: Return of the King for PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it was. That was one where you got to play as kind of Gandalf or Aragorn or whatever.
Yeah,
you could play through the whole thing co-op.
It was a hack and slash game, was it?
Somewhat. Yeah. But yeah, the thing that stood out to me that made it a good game was that it had drop in, drop out co-op. Where player 2 could just press start and then pick their character and play alongside you and everything. That was
almost
really fun.
Like the Lego games. How you can kind of drop in and drop out of those. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I remember enjoying Two Towers, the Lord of the Rings game as well, on PlayStation 2. I think it was in the similar vein to... I'm not sure I played Return of the King, but I definitely played Two Towers.
Tell you what,
And
I
that was a
actually
hack
really
and slash
enjoyed.
game. It was cool.
The Fellowship
What's
of the
that?
Ring game, totally separate to both of them, wasn't made by the same people, wasn't the same vein of game whatsoever. It was just an RPG where you played as Frodo, and it was based on the book, not the movies. And
I remember that
actually-
game. I remember that game because the first weapon you get is a stick, and I was so angry that I had a stick as a weapon that I quit playing it.
I actually really enjoyed that game. I stuck with it past the stick up until you got Sting or whatever, and yeah, I thought that was a really good game as well. I wouldn't put it up there as, you know, top 10 licensed games, but you know, I guess it's just it's a notice that if I actually think about every Lord of the Rings game I've played, even though I'm not a fan of the franchise, I'm not a big fan of the films, all the games have actually been really enjoyable games.
Mar 7 Coda 6 has brought up Shrek 2. Now I'm assuming that's a joke because Shrek 2 has a average score of 6 out of 10.
I played Shrek 2. I played it through with my sister. Yeah, she got it on I think original Xbox maybe, and that was it may not have because of her age. She like couldn't beat the bosses and things. She was too shit, so I had to beat all the bosses for her.
Oh, nice.
That was almost every video game ever that she played. It was always I got called in when she got to the boss. I beat the boss, and then she carried on.
What a Big Brother's for, eh?
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. Ratchet and Clank, I wouldn't say that counts because the movie came out after the game series, so that doesn't count. What are you talking about, Mike? Ratchet and Clank isn't a license. Come on, man.
What about the Dragon Ball Z games?
Yeah, I was thinking about Xenoverse as a solid game, and also
or even the old like Dragon Ball RPG that they did on SNES or whatever it was.
Legacy of Goku.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Game Boy Advance.
To just run fighting Frieza as a boss, and I'd just run until he was off screen, charge up a Kamehameha, and then when he came in screen, release it at him, and then run again so he was off screen, charge it up, just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Eventually
yeah, the first instance of cheesing a game.
Yeah.
The mentioned, yeah. But yeah, brings up Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Good one.
To be here. What's wrong?
Shrek 2 was an amazing game.
See, Shrek 2 is a bit of an anomaly because when you look at the scores it got, and that's all I'm basing it on because I never played it, IGN gave it 3.9 out of 10. GameSpot, oddly enough, gave it 6.8 out of 10. So there's a pretty kind of
discrepancy between those two.
Yeah, that's either shit game or okay game. Metacritic, 55%, which...
I'm looking at some gameplay on YouTube at the moment of Shrek 2. I'll get back to you. It looks... it doesn't look terrible, I'll just say that. Especially for a PlayStation 2 game, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. I think I might be slightly biased against Shrek because I was forced to study it when I was about 15, the original Shrek film, and...
Study it?
God. Yeah, we had to study. Because you know that movie's actually a commentary on classic Disney films, and it kind of pokes fun at tropes and you know the female, the damsel in distress and things like that. So it's actually kind of a good commentary. But when you have to watch it, you know, 80 times and then write essays on it and do bloody static images on it and things, it's no longer an enjoyable experience.
Mike, I don't think anyone have actually played both of these games, so he's sorry, I'm just chuckling at what Booyah said there. I don't think any of us have played both NieR and Horizon. In fact, none of us have, so
no.
We can't really make
I've played the demo of NieR. I played the demo on PlayStation Network, and I've also finished Horizon, so that kind of counts, I guess, but I haven't played the full game of NieR.
Is he asking for a comparison?
Yeah.
I don't know what sort of comparison he's
very different games.
Very different games. Yeah, it's so strange. It's apples to a different kind of apples there, Mike.
All I can say is I really enjoyed Horizon. Gonna do a plug here. Plug coming up. Check out the review that myself, and Abe kind of teamed up on overcastgamer.com. It's awesome.
It is. It is very good.
I'm talking about the review there, not the game. The game
the game's awesome too. The game's very, very cool. What was your score that you ended up on there, Regan? For Horizon?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
nice. Very nice.
Excellent game. I think a 10 out of 10 for me has to be not just a really solid game and really fun, but there has to be something a little bit extra to it, like that extra.
Have you played any 10s this year yet?
This year?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so. No.
I have. I've played two 10s. I've played two 10s though. But that's the thing. I've played two 10s, and you could probably guess what both of them were, because like in the past I've said that any game I would give a 10 to a game that I could not feasibly see a way in which it could be a better game, and could accomplish any better what it did. So based on that, you could probably work out what my second 10 is, other than Zelda.
I'm struggling.
Bomberman? That game was flawless.
Bang on. No, I actually, and it's gonna really, it's really surprising, because I never thought I would give a game of that genre or of that caliber at such a high score at all. But it's Resident Evil 7.
Oh yeah, interesting. So you'd give that a 10? I didn't realize you'd.
I've already said it's the perfect survival horror game.
Interesting. I've watched someone play through most of it on YouTube, because I didn't really want to play through it myself, because I'm not a huge horror fan. But it was it seemed really awesome, really interesting, innovative, well made kind of thing.
And so
not
I guess to
slop like the previous Resis.
And I guess just clarification, because obviously not everyone in the stream is going to know all our ranking systems or anything, but my particular ranking system is a game deserves a 10. A 10 doesn't mean it's the best game ever made. It just means it is the best example of what it should be. I agree. There's no conceivable way. Like, I, as the player, cannot think of any ways in which the game could have been better than it was, and that's what Resident Evil 7 was for me. And it's also what Zelda Breath of the Wild is for me. So this year I've had the pleasure of playing 2 10 out of 10 games already.
That's pretty good going. Yeah.
That's I would agree with Regan's 9 for Horizon. Pretty good start for us as well. Just with that straight off of the bat, a 9. Not bad at all. What are other 10s that you guys would have, say we were to go back and review a bunch of games from old. What are some other 10s you guys would give?
I would give The Witcher a 10.
Witcher 3, yeah?
Yeah, The Witcher 3.
I believe I gave that a 9 on our website, unfortunately. Oh, actually, let me check that. Maybe I did give it a 10. I can't even remember. It seems like such a long time ago now.
It's funny, we really only do written reviews for like the really big games, the ones that are really good, and it's like our review scores probably seem so skewed, eh? Like, that game's a 9.
It was a 9. Gave it a 9. Cons were movement, cumbersome, frustrating, frame rate can dip, and lengthy load times, and everything else was a pro. So yeah, a 9 for Witcher. I liked it more than Horizon, so if we did increments, I would give it a 9.5. But we don't do increments apart from Balthazar's famed 6.3.
Yeah, totally. That's hard coded into our website. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are the scores we can give.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
What
Destiny
game was it that got
is not a 10 out of 10. It was World of Warcraft Legion, I believe, Balthazar?
Yeah, 6.3 out of 10.
6.3 out of 10.
A solid meh.
Yeah. If Booyah's chimed in with Destiny 10 out of 10, you're off your fucking nut, mate.
You know what? If you were to take Destiny on its own and say Destiny and all its expansions are the only video games that exist in the world, then Rise of Iron was a 10 out of 10 expansion. because
sure,
of
but
the
then you've got
amount.
nothing to compare them to.
When the only frame of reference
being
is
more Destiny.
yeah, exactly, the Fallen King and or the Taken King and the core game being the only other frames of reference, then Rise of Iron 10 out of 10.
I'm not sure whether that's a compliment to the game or not.
It's high praise if you look at it a certain way, but if you...
I think I give it an 8, probably. The final complete game now, everything it is at this point in time, I give it an 8.
That's probably fair.
I just realised that I don't know how long for, but I've been using my fists instead of my sword. At some point, I changed my weapons and didn't notice. So let's change back.
What about Overwatch? Following on from your logic there of like not feasibly being able to improve a game, it sounds like that game, as far as kind of hero-based shooter, is pretty spot on.
I think Overwatch very much has the potential to, in another year, be a 10 out of 10, but it's a 9 out of 10. Essentially because at launch there wasn't enough to it, that you could easily come up with a feasible way to make it accomplish what it wanted to better, and that's have a larger character, map, and game type roster right from the start.
Sure. Okay, well, if we're doing this retrospectively, are we including all the updates and like as the game is now, or are we taking it on launch?
I would say on launch. That's why Destiny would get like a 4.
But yeah, Overwatch 9 out of 10 needs more skins.
He's also said that his only other 10 he would have given before Zelda was Football Manager 2012.
Which is basically just a numbers game, isn't it? Like,
it's unbelievably boring.
Lots of text on the screen.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, you could say that about Oregon Trail too. And,
that's true. And that's a solid 10 out of 10, so...
Yeah. Oregon Trail, yeah. Yeah, we've definitely got to do a full stream of Oregon Trail. You guys look out for that one. And if you don't know what Oregon Trail is, please YouTube it, because it's an amazing little game.
Yeah. We should do a crowdsource, or choose your own adventure of Oregon Trail.
Oh yes, yeah. Very keen for that. It'll be like we could do Twitch plays Oregon Trail. Do you guys know Twitch plays Pokémon?
Yeah.
No.
Reagan, so essentially Twitch Plays Pokemon was hundreds of thousands, if not millions, I can't remember, of people inputting commands for someone doing a playthrough of Pokemon, and it was automated, so any command they'd issue would happen in the game. But the unfortunate thing was, there was millions of people doing it at the same time, so anything was happening, and they eventually actually finished the game.
Wow, really?
Just it's the sort of, get a million monkeys in a room with a million typewriters and eventually they'll write Shakespeare. It was that sort of thing. Like, they eventually got through it. It was incredible.
Though it should be noted there were a few instances of admin overriding what was happening.
Yeah.
Because they got stuck in an inventory and couldn't get out because nobody was saying B. So it just...
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
I've never seen so many trolls in one place before. It was kind of amazing. I'm trying to think of teams that I would have given personally. Last of Us is a 10 for me.
Let's get to those flight units while we can.
Yeah, that's a fair call.
Yeah.
Be careful. The skies are packed with anti-air weapons. Make sure to approach at low
I'm torn between Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, because it's hard for me to see it back when I first played it now. In retrospect, it wouldn't be a 10. When I first played it, it was definitely a 10. I'd never seen anything like GTA San Andreas. That game completely blew me away. But now, yeah, it's a wee bit... it's got some issues. But, yeah, I love the aesthetic of that game.
I think for me at the time, Final Fantasy VII would have been a 10. But then I think part of the difficulty with that is that I would have to pull away from like the experience that I had of playing it with friends. Like, we kind of like thrashed through it as kind of a duo. So I think that's kind of part of what I really enjoyed about that game. I'm not sure if it was the game itself. I can't really remember. It was too long ago,
Yeah, that's definitely part of the, especially in hindsight, those sorts of experiences that we had as a kid, as playing with your friends and family and stuff like that. And it's hard to detach those sorts of sentimental memories from the experiences themselves. But that's also what I love about gaming. It's probably what has made me love gaming as well, is sharing those experiences with people. That's why I'm so sad that we moved away from couch co-op and local multiplayer, into online and things like that. It became a lot more impersonal.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing like having some mates around, just playing on the couch. Like I feel like gaming kids these days are missing out on that stuff.
Oh, people don't even play games these days, man. They just watch them.
Well, yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ragging on our audience because we appreciate you watching. But I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way when I was talking to I think it was my cousin or something like that, and he was saying how his son just comes home from kindy or whatever, and just goes on YouTube and watch people play Minecraft. I'm like, what? Just why doesn't he play Minecraft? Like, what? Why? I don't understand.
Play Minecraft.
Strange. It's strange. I think I'm just an old soul in a new world, to be honest.
Yeah, we're going to become definitely that middle generation, where it's like, you don't know what games were like for me back in my day.
Yeah. Or antiquated ideals, and that quote from The Simpsons comes to mind, where Principal Skinner is, am I out of touch? No, it's the children that are wrong. That's me in a nutshell, boys.
Yeah.
There's always a Simpsons quote.
Yeah.
If anyone's as into The Simpsons as I am, well, I'm a complete nut for the first 9 seasons. Frinkiac.com is an incredible resource for still images from The Simpsons. You can type in almost anything, any sort of keywords from the scene you're looking for, and you'll get a great still image. You can put text over it if you want to, make like a meme thingy, or you can just make a GIF if you want. Incredible resource, frinkiac.com. Highly recommend.
I like how you said if you use keywords to, from a specific scene you're thinking of. When I use that thing, I don't try to find a specific still image from a scene I recall. I just use a keyword that is relevant to a situation, and I want to see if there is a screenshot for it.
That's true. That's another good way to do it. Yeah, if you just type in, say, chicken, you'll get all the instances of chicken in The Simpsons, and then you can probably use it for the situation in which you find yourself. I only recommend that because a good deal of my existence is posting Simpsons still images back and forth with various people.
Oh man, I just searched chicken and it's great. There's one that comes up as I don't know the context, but that there's a grown-up Bart in a purple velvet suit, and he's kneeling down on the ground, and next to him on his left is Clancy, the police chief
Wiggum.
Yeah. But he's like RoboCop, so he's like and then in his stomach it's opened up and he's got like a rotisserie chicken.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah. Yep, I do remember that. It's from one of the later seasons. I'm just having a look. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. That's one of the flash forward episodes.
Oh yeah, with the quotes that go with it is Bart sniffles and then Wiggum goes, "Oh, here, you want some chicken? Just grab it with your hands. Go ahead."
Yeah, that's pretty great. There's another one of just the whole Simpsons family doing the chicken dance around the table. And Booyah has commented that Simpsons is a poor man's Family Guy. You're wrong, mate. You're completely wrong.
He doesn't actually mean that, surely.
I know he doesn't, but them's still fighting words.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to get away with slagging off the Simpsons in front of Abe.
Yeah, the classics. You can go to town on anything post season 9, but anything from 1 to 9, yeah, I'll have your head.
What's the story with this change at season 9?
A lot of the old writers left. A lot of the old souls from the classic era of The Simpsons left. It turned a lot from sort of skewering of American life and political satire and then pop culture satire into just references and dropping famous people into the show. Yeah. I remember seeing an episode with Lady Gaga that almost made me want to throw up.
I don't know. There's nothing
Must have been fairly recent.
Fairly recent, yeah, probably like 4 years ago, 5 years ago maybe.
Yeah,
but
true.
that's still recent in terms of, like, Simpsons is on what, season 27 or something now? So
Jesus.
Yeah, it's going. It's going for it.
Spoilers incoming, says Mike.
Nah,
well,
the spoiler is Sephiroth has pants this time. That's
Dad? To be. Look.
This Frankiac is great.
Oh, it's awesome, man. You like the amount of times I go to that resource during, my work. It's ridiculous. Just anything anyone says, I have a reply in Simpsons form queued up.
It's almost like they've taken every Simpsons episode and just frame for frame pulled out.
Can I kill him yet? Relax.
Oh, they have. I think it's like it says on the homepage, like 3 million still images or something.
Wow.
3 million still kept. Yeah. It's pretty incredible. Balthazar. So now you're fighting Dante and sort of 80s hair metal Dante.
Yeah.
The machines.
Interesting.
And who knows?
Adam and Eve.
Perhaps we'll wipe out the androids.
Is that their names?
Machines are weapons.
Is one a woman? I thought they were both.
No,
guys.
they're both guys. They're effectively trying to create. They're trying to recreate humanity, but as machines. And the only reference they have for the birth of humanity is that the first two were called Adam and Eve, and they are the first two of this new breed of machines. So they've named themselves Adam and Eve.
I see.
They don't, like, being machines, they don't have or understand gender or anything, so they've just assigned names to themselves.
Why that? Because they are an enigma. They killed uncountable
Japanese developers have just got something different going on, eh? They just think in a whole different way than Western devs. Just a whole different set of ideas.
Dedicating ourselves to unraveling this riddle of humanity. And now
Yeah, it leads to a pretty cool aesthetic, I reckon. It's
you were made in their image after all.
It does, yeah. It leads to some pretty interesting,
Locate the humans on
game. Essentially, like you don't really think about these sorts of things. Say a Dragon Age game, Dragon Age Inquisition, or I'm just trying to think of Western RPGs. A Skyrim. They'd never go into that sort of craziness.
We'd never do that.
Like make you think that deeply about something like that.
This guy's bonkers. Well, I suppose this
I can't say that about Dragon Age Inquisition because I haven't played it. But,
they don't go into that kind of craziness.
No,
I can
had
confirm.
assumed.
I've tried playing that game a couple times and just could never really get into it, eh? Like, I don't know what it is about Dragon Age Inquisition. Some people loved it. It was like game of the year that year, but
it got really highly regarded critically. It's sort of like a weird real-time strategy kind of thing to it as well, eh?
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, you could go into tactical mode where you kind of paused it and it went top down and you could issue commands from above and scope the battlefield and stuff.
Right.
Didn't really gel with me, to be honest.
The aliens were already
I feel
dead.
like we're about 2 seconds away from a Japanese music video from starting up with those two shirtless dudes with the white hair on the screen. Some sort of anime montage with Linkin Park or what's that, like Evanescence in the background.
Right, lads. Well, I think you're welcome to continue the stream without me, but I think that is going to be me for the evening.
What a pain.
Stop complaining.
Thanks everyone for hanging out.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably... Is this a sort of final good place to end it, Balthazar? Is there some sort of
Stand
finality
here
coming
at
up?
this chest. There we go.
Oh, well, that's in
the dark.
That's as
on my
final as
own.
we're going to get, yeah. That's a bloody depressing way to end it, but no, thank you everyone for coming over. I think this is the most people we've had in our stream. It was up to 25 or something, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, you can check us out on all the usual places, and we'll be back next Friday, same time, same bat channel, same bat time. And,
Same bad time, same bad channel. Check out the sites. Read my review of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Read Regan's review of Horizon Zero Dawn. Get us that ad money so we can shell out and start selling out as soon as possible.
I'm really, really keen to quit my job, so if you guys can just go ahead and do that, that'd be great.
Yeah, let Regan live his dream, people. We'll start a Patreon, fund Regan's dream. We'll get on that. Yeah, but thank you everyone for hanging out and putting up with our absolute bullshit